Is this what they're loading the chat GPT bots up with these days? New chatter, first chat. A Ukrainian woman recently got stabbed in a train. Her name is Irina Zerotskaya. Could you please talk about that? How could that madman be allowed to walk free? I don't know, man. I talked about that like the day it happened. What are you talking about? Rightoids live in such a delusional fantasy world, they legitimately think that it's a gotcha if they bring up, like, hey, a white woman was killed. Do you think that's bad? Yeah. Yeah, I think that, yeah. Yeah. I didn't see her race, though. I've been told from other people that Irina was white, but I personally couldn't identify that from the video. I just have a kind of, like, persistent race blindness. It's because they think killing black women is good, so they assume we think the opposite. Oh, literally, yeah, 100%. They like politically, they like the murder of their enemies. They like the murder of the enemy races, you know. So when they see people say stuff like "Remember George Floyd" or whatever, in their mind, what they're thinking is like they're attempting to humiliate and subvert us by revealing the fact that we think you know, a race war is good. Now, let me pitch it back at you. I bet you also think a race war is good, but in the other direction. They're fucked up in the head, man. Like, genuinely. They're very mentally ill. But, like, there are millions of people who think like this. Lamau, their whole chat log is like faking sincerity. Yeah, because, well, again, and I've seen this a million times, so it's not new to me at all. I'm not even speculating here. I'm telling you what's going on in this person's mind, okay? In their mind, this, to me, is like an audacious statement to be confronted with. In their mind, pitching to a leftist YouTuber, you know, do you have any comment about what happened to Irina Zerotskaya? It seems weird mainstream media doesn't talk about it. Would be cool to hear your thoughts. The goal is to get me to freak out and be like, you're racist for bringing it up. Like, that's what they think will happen, because they think that I also want a race war just against white people. And that by framing it this way, they can make me come across as like the weirdly fixated one, as opposed to whatever this is. You've seen this behavior online, right? Like, it's concern trolling, but it's concern trolling that reveals how they think, because it's concern trolling that only works if you believe the opposition wants an anti-white race war. I love white people. Some of my closest friends are white. That's true. Most of your chatters are white. It depends on how generous Sake Tanuki feels like being that month. Man, it is grim out there, huh? Is that you laughing 42 seconds in? What is this?
Like Portland and Seattle, I'm be very honest with y'all, so you just gonna have to take it for a second. I was walking downtown and it's like this.
Did you? What is your tier of subscription? Breadwave, you are a white name. How are you operating at a level of parasociality where you recognize a laugh that does sound kind of like mine in the background audio of a stand-up comedian? And you think, oh, that must be him. You need to be at least a tier 3 sub, okay? YouTube is going to demonetize my channel any day now for not, you know, getting down on the ground and prostrating myself before an altar to Charlie Kirk. And I need you guys to pitch in. It's only fair. Pay up. It's low-key pretty distinct. Yeah, well. Remember when they said Vance wouldn't be able to handle being the president, but now he's the only one who can speak clearly about destroying America? Vance is more capable of advancing this agenda than Trump is. But keep in mind that for like 90% of Republicans, the guy they think about is Trump. Vance might be the guy discussing these ideas, but like Trump is still the icon of the party, right? Without him, like he just doesn't have the charisma. In fact, the things that make him good at talking about evil policy make him bad at being the president. Move to BC, it's like PNW, but at triple the price. I don't think there's any place on earth that's triple the price of Seattle, but I appreciate the pitch. London? Seattle's pretty goddamn expensive, guys. Vancouver is for sure, lol. No, it's not. Why are you trying to steal my fucking valor? Average rent cost, Vancouver. Average rent is, for all property types, is $2,980. For the average one-bedroom apartment is $2,421. Okay, average rent cost, Seattle. Single bedroom. 2,123 to 2,250. Okay, so that would make it 15% more expensive. Epically owned in the free marketplace of ideas. Don't talk to me. Also donate and like and subscribe. Thank you. That is pretty pricey though. That's nothing compared to Boston, lol. Average rent cost, one bedroom apartment, Boston. $3,500 to $3,600 a month? Really? When did Boston get that expensive? That's crazy. I thought Boston was in like that strip of American cities that had a lot of available housing, like Chicago. Huh. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm getting varying answers here. Some websites say 2,800, some say 3,000. One says 2,500, but that seems anomalously low. I don't know. Average studio apartment was 2,500 a month a decade ago. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit.
I appreciate your insights on rural voters and their lack of good urbanism. How did country music get psyoped?
I suspect it has something to do with how music distributed. Like, music popularity probably shifted more away from local radio stations that kind of favored authentic local sounds, and more towards big major record label corpo stuff, where, since those are all produced in the cities, you had country music being made by city people to market to rural people. That's just my guess, though. I don't know.
Looking back at your appearance on Timcast, it was mostly just you and Tim debating, and Charlie would chime in with a buzzword, then go back to his troll corner.
Yeah, I was supposed to be debating Charlie Kirk, and I know it sounds conceited, but I genuinely believe it. I think he saw that I was a hard target and backed off it. He went back to just, like, asking me questions. Charlie Kirk is a disingenuous propagandist who chose college students, and then even then had to, like, edit down the conversations that he had because he didn't want to have real convos. That's true, my friend. Was. My apologies. In his conversation with me, he quickly and listen, he's not wasn't a stupid guy. I correctly identified that I wasn't like a soft target in that respect, and once he realized that, he just let me beef it out with Tim Pool, who's a lot stupider. He knows his job is to lie. There was more discourse on your subreddit about chat's misogyny during the labor segment. Can I be real? Can I be so real with you guys? Chat, you guys are sometimes, in a clumsy effort to mimic my jokes, misogynistic, and it is an issue. At the same time, I cannot muster the energy to give a shit right now. Dude, come on, look at the news, man. Like, this isn't a lowering of standards thing or anything. It's more like, it's just like, I don't know. You do have to make a choice about where to put your energy. Real talk, Vaush, why does your Discord server suck so much? I'm gonna be real with you. Any problems with the Discord server aside, in my experience, people who open a convo with real talk, why does X suck so much, usually themselves kind of suck. So it's kind of, it's sort of a, like, you know, if it was actually a problem, I would have to hear about it from somebody else sort of deal. The Discord got mad at me because I said, if liberals are called libtards, what do you call Republicans? I mean, it just sounds like you're being 12 years old in there. Also, the Discord didn't get mad at you. You can't say libtard in the Discord. It's in the rules. Did you read the rules before participating? Like, you can't complain about the Discord being bad when you said something that violated the rules, and also the thing you're trying to violate the rules with isn't funny to begin with. I mean, you say you're a fan of mine. Have you ever heard me say republitard? Have you ever heard that word out of my mouth? Just did. You're all so smart. You can just say retard. Well, not in the Discord. Because it's in the rules. I don't mean to overblow your influence, but I think you might have been the one that renormalized the left saying retard. Here's the problem, okay? And it's the thing that kind of bothers me about you guys sometimes. You're not me and I'm not you. I say it. I've always said it. That's me. If you were only not saying retard because the weight of cancel culture was on your chest, and now that you think you can, you do, you're weak, genuinely. If you weren't saying it before, why say it now? I always was saying it, you know? I'm not, like, I understand that I have a responsibility to you know, shift people's perspective, blah, 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 blah. I understand this, okay? I'm not removing myself from the responsibilities of being a public figure, but, like, I don't know. I know a lot of young people watch me or whatever, but if you don't want to say it, or you weren't saying it before, why say it now? Was it really just social stigma stopping you? Because you still can't say retard in polite company. Also, I say retard here. This is my space. It's literally my stream. I don't go around saying it like talking to random people. I don't like go into other communities. When I've visited other Discords under like a different Discord username so that people don't immediately go, oh my god, is it Vaush? I don't immediately start retard posting or whatever, you know?
so true. It's like people complaining about all the bad drivers are usually themselves a bad driver, I noticed.
True. Very true. Very true. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir. Yep. Mm-hmm. You said it. Agreed. Yep. So is everyone a bad driver then? Not me, because I don't fucking complain about other people on the road. I don't get road rage. When I'm driving, I'm like, oh, maybe that one driver was bad sometimes, but for the most part, I understand that everyone's just trying to get to where they're going.
I'm so appreciative of the non-political content. Genuinely, it's getting so depressing being reminded that America is falling apart and my rights will be the first to go cause transphobia.
I also think that, and pardon me for being a bit cynical with it, but like in the long term, there is going to be a silencing of our speech. I think it's important for a wide variety of reasons to foster a community that extends beyond just like, here's the news. There are a lot of news guys. There's one me. I do not, pardon my arrogance. I know a lot of people don't have this, really? I know a lot of people don't have this as a choice, but I would like to not have my my life and livelihood squashed by a bunch of retarded fascists. If I could help that, that would be wonderful. I'd really appreciate it if I could sort of persist beyond that obstacle. Do you see any silver linings currently? Do you see any way out? Can you fucking chill? What the fuck? We're playing a game. I'm not St. Peter, okay? I'm not Moses. Chill. Yeah, shit really sucks. Judging from actuarial tables, from my perspective, it's a matter of dying now or in 47 years anyway, okay? Just take a back seat, broader perspective. I want to finish this game and 100% it before I die anyway. Let's work on what we can.
I wonder if we need to amass a hypermask trans men army to protect trans rights.
I'm not gonna lie, man, and this is really unfair of me to say, but it's still true. Politically, in the public eye, I feel like trans women are out there fighting their best, and every other trans guy I see is like a turncoat. I know that's not actually representative. I know that's just what, like, the systems prioritize because trans men are given the ability to slip into this, like, oh no, I'm a lost sister bullshit or whatever. But oh my god, that's happened so many times. I feel bad for trans guys because they keep getting, like, misrepped by the people out there. It has nothing to do with trans guys and everything to do with the way society treats trans men versus trans women.
I do find it interesting that Jimmy Kimmel, a man who started his career with juggy girls on trampolines, got cancelled for a milquetoast critique.
If you ever want to feel like you're looking into an alternate reality, if you ever want any IRL Rick and Morty interdimensional cable, go look at what television was like in the late 2000s, or sorry, the late 90s and early 2000s. Everything was so raunchy. In today's puritanical fascist takeover world, it seems insane, you know? Like just regular daytime TV, regular shows people watched, everything from like, not necessarily like flagrant nudity, but like a lot of women back then had big tits, no bra, were jiggling around, and that was just common. That was just a regular daytime TV thing, I feel. Nowadays, I feel like it would cause discourse. You all get what I'm talking about with like the 90s raunchiness though, right? That was, when I was growing up, I thought that was America. Like, I thought liberals were happy about the whole freedom of expression thing, the fact that women could be scantily clad, it wasn't like puritanical. And conservatives, when 9/11 happened, they would do the like, you know, this is America, and it's like a woman in a bikini that has the American flag on it, and Muslims, you don't like this, do you? Because it's obscene to them. I feel like it, in a single generation, we went from one of the defining American virtues being crassness, which I guess I still kind of believe in a little bit, to now actually no, we're all supposed to pretend to be, we're all supposed to LARP as like European aristocrats or something. Like, okay. Besides homophobia, you couldn't be publicly queer to early 2000s. Yeah, and I remember that shift too. Like I remember, obviously transphobia is, and I mean, not so much still is, at least in like media, but there was a period of time where every movie and TV show had the joke trans character, but of course they weren't trans, they were like a gross crossdresser or something. You get me. What was I saying? Do you think transphobia is worse now than it was back then? So it's different, right? Back then, nobody knew what a trans person was, basically, so transphobia mostly took the form of like incidental disgust. It was like, oh, there are weirdos out there who like to pretend they're girls or whatever, and they're weird and gross, and they're often child predators, but they're kind of like, it was treated with the seriousness of people talking about like pedo bear or whatever. It was like, oh yeah, look at those creepers, but it wasn't very much, it wasn't very dedicated, it wasn't very committal.
Transphobia has also sadly been on the rise. At least we now have Adam something, not just Netherlands bikes, and the rest of the transit tube.
Very good, as always, Sake. It is true, though, that, like, modern urbanism is picking up. Oh, hold on.
Lily Simpson has a really great series here on YouTube where she analyzes transphobia in films and TV shows. It features a lot of content from the 90s and early 2000s.
I think I might have seen one of those videos. Possibly? It sounds familiar to me.
There is no way Disney would release a film like Mulan today. Way too critical of gender even if the main character wasn't trans. Sad to see society backslide.
That is literally true. Yeah, 100%. If you go and rewatch, Mulan, well, yeah, they remade Mulan in live action, and they completely took away from the point. The point of Mulan in the original was that her gender didn't matter, and she was a good warrior because she was a creative thinker, and that she broke with the regimented thinking of the military, right? And then in the new one, it's like, oh, she's allowed to be a fighter despite being a woman because she's just unnaturally good at fighting. Mulan was never, like, unnaturally good at fighting or whatever. She was just quick-witted, and that was all she needed.